Hello, beautiful people. Adrian Nelson here. And I am going through this beautiful spell casting oracle cards for you today. Um, I have done sort of box or like like when you get those on those first sort of like first impression videos, which are really really great because the experience that one has with a deck of cards when you first get them, sort of like compared to the experience that you have when you've been working with a deck for a while, when you've been sort of like really, um, you know, become very acquainted with the energy of a deck, and even sort of like started harvesting some of the benefits as a direct result of working with the deck. Or, sometimes along the line, or at least I find that I'm very excited about a deck of cards when I initially get them, but after a while, the excitement wears off. And for me, the amazing thing is that every single deck of cards that I've ever been given as a gift, it has always been somehow really perfect, you know, um, because Oracle decks has something that's called the lexicon. Well, technically speaking, tarot has it as well. And a lexicon is really the energy of the deck, the feeling of the deck, the vibe of the deck, the sort of like the purpose behind its creation, like what inspired it. Was it like for love or what was it sort of like? And you can really feel the energy that is that goes along with it. And I mean, if you're new to oracles, you might be considering buying this deck. Maybe you just came across this videos quote unquote by coincidence, but because coincidences don't really exist. Whatever the case may be, if you are here, I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to welcome you to my beautiful space. Thank you for being here. There are so many other things that you can do with your time. So what I'm grateful about is that you are consciously choosing to spend your time with me. I appreciate that. And whether you have been supporting me for a while or whether you're new, know that I appreciate you with all of my heart. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. I appreciate you all. Okay? Thank you very, very much for I suppose supporting a platform where I can really just, live my dream. And because I mean, this is my life, this is what I do, and it's exciting because at this point I've got no idea what today's date is. So if you give me a sec, I'll just quickly check on my mobile. So today is February the 26th 2023, and it's a Sunday, and it is the time is 15:07 in the afternoon. Okay, yeah, with me in beautiful South Africa. It's a beautiful day. And so I just happen to have some time at the moment, and I thought I wanted to speak to you about this. In the previous video, you would see I did a bit of a flip through of these cards, traditional Rider-Waite tarot, but they'll all be in the same playlist. Which is basically, I think I call it free tarot coaching, because that's really what it is. I've been actually realized that I've been joking the other day. I was saying to somebody that I'm mature now because I've been doing tarot for 21 years now. So, and oracles I only started a couple of years ago. I think it was in 2019, late in 2019, almost sort of like the middle of 2019. I started with oracle cards, and I'll show you what my first deck was. Whoops. This was my first deck. I really loved it because I love crystals. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a crystal healer. I work with the angels. So I got that beautiful deck of cards from Rockpool Publishing. But the Spellcasting Oracle, it is published by Hay House. And it's with Flavia Kate Peters and then Barbara Makershawn Free, which I'm probably saying wrong, and I do apologize. But I don't know so much about both ladies, but I do know Flavia especially. She is. If I actually think that earlier this year she released. I think it's a book that she released, but she's got this amazing deck of oracle cards. They're 48 cards. It's got a beautiful guidebook, and this is for any of you that are maybe feeling some witchy vibes. Quite a while ago, well, quite some time ago, obviously. I started really becoming interested in candle magic specifically. and I'm actually busy formulating a course on it at the moment. So if you're looking at this video, if it's already been formulated, there'll be a link to the course. If not, then obviously you may be looking at the video when it just came out. But this is really for if you feel those witchy sort of vibes, because remember, with magic, you always want to have an intention. Intention is important. And when it comes to magic, and the spellcasting oracle is very much based on magic. The understanding of magic is that you use, they say the artwork by Lisbeth Shiva Gezeman. That's weird. That's the first time that I've seen that in all of the while that I've had this deck. This is quite mind-blowing. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so with magic, you basically use the elements to consciously create an outcome. It's like when you lay electricity cables in your home, or water pipes, or whatever. There has to be some sort of plan. You're like, if you bought window frames, you can't just go to the store and say, yo, I'm here to pick up some glass, for my windows. They're going to need some measurements. So I would say have an intention, for the deck, why you want to work with the deck. Or actually with magic, with the elements, which means you have to work with the elements. Now, I'll be honest, the box is beautiful. I haven't really looked too much at the booklet, well, not recently at least. But I'm just going to show you, it's a nice and sturdy box. It's the Haywood boxes, nice and sturdy. And I would say this deck is for those of you who, it might be that you're not even aware of it, because when I think back of when sort of like this kind of material started to come into my life, like my life was at a changing point. It was at a turning point. Another deck that I got that time as well that I want to show you, and maybe this is happening for you as well. It might be uncanny if it does. But Angel Answers Oracle decks by Rachel Valentine, I'm not going to open it and go into it. But I remember I was so excited when I saw this deck. There's been some controversies around it and stuff, and I was hoping to get it, but then I thought it went off the market, and it came back on the market again. But the energy just felt so supercharged and revived, and I sort of realized why I had to wait for, this version that I didn't even know was coming. And I remember I got so excited when I got it. I was with my best friend. There's actually a link for her business in the description. It's called I Am Social, AEM Social. And she really does help you to let your business grow. She's basically the one who helped me to let my business grow, because I didn't know nothing about nothing. Like, seriously, And to the point that I'm actually currently busy designing like a tarot deck. So it's amazing how your life starts to change. I feel when this sort of material comes into your life, especially oracle decks. Remember that lexicon, the energy behind the deck. And this is really to get some guidance, And oh yeah, so I was saying, I got so excited that I actually blocked my own cards. So my friend had to pay for this deck. But this deck of cards, and you will, now, I'm not going to tell you how to choose your decks, because it's a very personal experience. And even though I am predominantly a tarot reader, when I started to open my heart to oracle cards, and I think I've got a very jokey demeanor, but there is a level of seriousness to this work which one has to honor. But when I opened my heart to oracle cards, back in 2019, it's like this vast, beautiful world just opened for me. But again, it's about, having a clarity about what is it that you want to do. And for me, my goal till this date that I'm recording this remains the same, is to help those who are, ready and willing to discover the magic in themselves, and to, expand that, and to benefit from that, and to maintain it, but to responsibly expand it, go when they must go, stay when they must stay. And so this deck is so great for that, because, it is working with the elements. It is for those who, I would even say, want more inner peace, Okay, so let's get into it. So, hey house, and then there's a beautiful writing over there, and it says, as I open this box, magic abounds. And so remember, magic, it's about working with the elements. It's about understanding that we are part of something so much bigger, so much more complex. And even though I'm interrupting that now, depending on when you see it, and when and how these things are available, you might want to go and look at maybe like a Netflix series, something like Our Universe, which is very pleasing to listen to actually also, and it's just really beautifully put together. it makes you realize the vastness of who you are. Give me just a second, please. Sorry about that. I just needed to check on something. You know, look at where we come from. Look at work by people, for example, Michael Pollan. Michael, like Michael, and Pollan is the last name. You know, like those type of things into the world. Look into nature, really look into nature, you know. And I think something that I always say, and I think something that these beautiful creators of this deck agree with, is that when you look to see without having an expectation of what you should see, you begin to see a different sort of world. Because you know, we're very used to seeing the world in a certain way, and that's why we see it that way. You know, but what if you were open to, you know, I always like to say to my, you know, like students and people in masterclass and stuff like that, I'd say, just imagine if you were an alien, like, you know, from a different world or like a different consciousness, whatever. And so you've never been on planet Earth before. You've heard about it. You never know if it was real or not. And then you were kind of caught into this, you know, whatever elitist program or like whatever the case may be, you know. Maybe some secret mission, who knows, like use your imagination. And then you go to Earth and you've got like a perfect backstory, so you don't have to worry about that. You're not like lying to anybody or deceiving them, but you get to experience Earth for the first time in a human body. You know, where would you start? Will you have a family or not? You know, will you have friends? Will you be lonely? Like what will you do? Like, how will you change? Like, imagine if you feel like the air or like the sun or something like that, you know, on your skin for the first time. Like it's something really profound, you know. And I actually have, it's very interesting. I've got this guided meditation. It's only about 10 minutes long, which will go perfectly with this for you. That sort of like tapping into that higher power of who we are. So I created this guided meditation, and initially I wanted to create a Candle Magic online course with it. You know, I've got a couple of others. I've got a free Oracle card course, step-by-step tarot, step-by-step OSHO Zen. There's another one, what is it? I can't really remember now. Spiritual Awakening Starter Kit. Really great if you're like, you know, newly awakened and that type of stuff. And also even with the paid courses, the first couple of lessons are free because you can, I don't really think it's fair that you like kind of expect somebody to first pay and then establish whether I'm the person for you or not, because you might be like, you know, somebody might be raving about me and other people like, nah, not my dude, you know. Is to Celine is coachings, you know, which is a legitimate point. If I'm not your flavor, I'm not your flavor, you know, or vice versa. So you can go check there. Now I have to remember, eventually I put it in the Osho Zen course. It's part of the free options before you buy or not. And there's a guided meditation which align or like helps you to align with the allness of who you are, like the planets and the stars and the earth. And I felt very inspired when I did it, and it did a couple of different things. It's also part of like I normally send it to a client for preparation for regression hypnosis. I'm getting totally off the point here. But it's beautiful. Go check it out. There'll be a link in the description. Go check it out, you know. And there's this meditation, and I mean, it's free and it can be very beneficial for you. But anyway, feeling my heart open up to one love. And I mean, it's just, you know, it's even holding the deck, it's putting me in that space of just, you know, being very chatty, but in a very good way. Beauty surrounds me below and above. You know, we are the children of the universe. We are a natural, you know, when I heard the sentence, I was doing research for crystal healing course that I was doing. And one of the sentences I came across, which really for a moment, I think for flat, like more than 10 minutes, just silenced me in complete awe, was that as human beings, we are part of how the earth expresses life. I was like, whoa, you know? Vibrations now raised, inviting in light, protection in place. I see with new sight. Hey, what's up, Baba? Why are you barking, man? Come here. Come, Buko. Come sit here. Sorry about that. The dog's probably like barking a leaf or something. As I work with these cards, connect us as one. In peace and love, we are blessed. It is done. And remember also, when you get a new deck, remember cleansing the energy, dedicating the deck. What is your intention? Because it's the creator, but it's also you going to work with this living energy. And oracle is basically a way through which the universe communicate with you. So that can be oracle cards, Nordic runes, I Ching, which is like one of my favorites. I love the I Ching. I'm still relatively newish in it, but it's astounding. Anyway, that or actual oracle cards, tarot cards, anything like that, really, it's an oracle. It's a way of communication. So if you even say maybe you're like just a plain psychic medium who just does trance, or maybe you work with herbal teas or whatever, tinctures, whatever, that's an oracle, still, because it's a channel. So beautiful box. If you want to know more about cleansing your cards and deck and everything, I think it's in the free, it's obviously with the free course, the free oracle card reading course. It's going to give you a lot of information how to work with oracle cards if you're not familiar with it. Or, for me, the thing is I will take things sometimes because, I learned a very long time ago in the game of life that a lot of times when you think you know everything, that is when you often miss sort of like the beauty that life has to offer for you, because you think you know everything, you're not really open to anything else. And that's often how we, in my experience at least, withhold good things from ourselves. So maybe go check it out. But you can also check the free material for either the step-by-step tarot reading course or by the step-by-step OSHO Zen course. In the beginning, those free lessons, they all explain to you, and obviously, I just do them, but so you can check maybe all of them if you wanna, and you can have a good understanding from there how to work with your cards for optimum benefit. Because remember, when we work with energy, we also want to be responsible. There is a little bit of spirituality bubblegum that's going on, and when you work with energy, you have to be responsible. Otherwise, you can have some bad stuff coming your way. You have to remember that you are consciously, or consistently rather, creating karma. The idea is that you want to create it consistently, you're consistently creating it, but you want to do it consciously, okay? I'm sorry that I keep on getting up. Somebody might be arriving soon, and I must open the gate for them. So it's got a beautiful booklet. This whole thing is it's real quality. It's beautifully bound. I love the back. I love the front. Now, I don't know if it's going to pick up now. I've got a ring light over there, and I'm trying to show you that even with reflections, it does really, really well. In actual fact, I think the reflection gives it almost like that, AI oomph type of thing, even though these cards are beautiful. They're like a great quality. I like to, I can do this one. I can't do the one up. Like I'll try, but it's probably going to be like a dismal failure. I can't do the upwards one. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I just sort of did it. Anyway, booklet, beautiful. You get, the cards are alphabetically listed. These ones are not. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through, but they're not alphabetically listed. Well, these are not. So it's a beautiful welcome here. They speak about the old ways. I just love the way this deck is put together. I love the energy in it. They speak about the ancient art of spellcraft. And again, with magic, they say, what is a spell, which is important, do's and don'ts. I really love this booklet. They speak about the moon phases, which is something that I work with quite a lot. I'm a Cancerian, but what I do on my channel, my YouTube channel, is I have like this weekly reading for every zodiac sign, like a horoscope reading basically. And I always find it interesting how you pick up different energies with different zodiac signs, especially, I would maybe do like 6 to 8 a day. Or if I've got like a whole day and I start in the morning and I end the evening, because I love to take my time. I don't like to rush through them. I don't just like boom, 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 do them one after the other. It's always interesting how you step into the different energies, It's quite, at least for me. So yeah, it speaks about the moon. I work with the moon quite a lot, especially in, if I do something like spell creation, like, so like my distance healing sessions, like, energy healing, Reiki, that sort of stuff, which I prefer to do more like over 5 days, but I usually do them with the cycles of the moon, or, around something else that is quite sort of like distinctive, like a solstice or something like that. And I find that the people that are interested in this sort of deck are the people that are interested maybe in sort of like astrology, astronomy, you know, magic, the old ways, the ancient ways, that sort of stuff. So you might find it very interesting. It could be a good place to start if maybe you wanna, you know, sort of like start working with magical work itself, Magick, magic, you know, not the eye illusionary sort of thing, which by the way is something I find absolutely fascinating. Especially when you incorporate it into things like the work like Circus Soleil, basically. And this deck is very much like that. You know, such an incredible stepping stone. It gives you the magical moons, it gives you the months to work with, you know, because with magic, there's magical months, there's magical days, direction of the elements. Something to always just remember with the elements is that now, I'm not even sure with this one, but sorry, you know, when you look online and Google and stuff like that, just to verify, is that normally when, you know, when, for example, you look at something that is explained to you, maybe something pointing north or west or whatever, you know, associated with energy or something like that for whatever it is that you want to do, you always want to kind of check just to make sure if that is sort of like more like a UK British sort of publication or like a South African, Australian, maybe even publication, or if that's more like an American, like a North American sort of publication, because then, you know, with the equator, and you want to look into this a little bit more because I don't have sufficient time to explain it, but I just want you to be aware of it, that sometimes, you know, what could be seen as south on the other side is seen on north on the other side. So just check that out, okay? I always say double check what you get on Google. You can check other Google things, but like, you know, unrelated to each other. But, you know, always make sure that you check like more, like at least 3 variable or like, what is it, like sources that can be, you know, verified and stuff like that. But how to cast a spell, I'm going to really strongly encourage you, even if you're experienced, to really look through this. You know, they've got wonderful things here with the colors, how to seal the spell, how to work with these cards, all these sort of energies, and this is very important, interpretations of the cards. So remember everything that you get in the booklet. So it's beautiful magical guidance, spell incantation, beautiful oral writing over there if you need it. Words are powerful, magical meanings. With a spell, intention is the most important thing. All right. So I'm definitely going to recommend that you go through this booklet at least once, no matter how experienced you think you may be. I always, you know, as I said, I learned a long time ago that, you know, one can learn a lot if you're just open to it. On the back even, you know, have you ever wished you could cast a spell to change your life's path, connect with your inner witch, and add a little magic. These 48 cards in this deck will help you to harness thousands of years of supernatural wisdom to empower and heal your journey. Whether you are a seasoned witch, okay, that's so cool, you know, that they actually say it. So whether you're a seasoned witch or a magical dabbler, all the spells you need to conjure your desires are contained within this deck. And like, are you ready, you know, to work your magic? And then they speak a little bit here about the, you know, about the designers. There's their websites, really cool. Very well put together. And I remember I will never forget it. I was on a bus this one day. I saw a post on one of my friends' sort of like chat wall, what we call WhatsApp. Like a status update, and I was like, I can't remember which card it was, but I was like, what is this deck? I think she had like 5 of them posted on, and then she told me about it. I went to go check it. The moment I got paid, I bought the deck. Like I was like, it's not even a given. It's so intricate, it's so beautiful, the details on the back of this deck. Like, it's so inspiring. It's like, you know, it reminds me of something that Colette Baron Reed likes to talk about. That's why I put a box over there so you can see, which is that we are dreaming the world into being, into existence, you know, which is, you know, obviously true. And the card work on the front is beautiful. I also like that they're sort of like, it's very aesthetically pleasing, like very pictorial. Yes, you know, the more you look into it, you see how much detail was put into these cards, you know. Whether, I don't know, maybe this was just like stock images, which I mean is what I'm using as well, because I mean, if not, why not, you know. But there's such amazing things that you can do, but it's so well thought out. And this is the thing about magic that I love, and this deck that I love, is that it shows you the way without telling you what the way should be. And that is really important, you know. It shows you the way without telling you what the way should be. Because I think so many times we are told what the way should be. You know, so I'm just going to go through the cards with you very quickly. Show them to you. I like the idea of courage. Courage to be brave. You know, it's not always easy. These cards are exceptional. I love them. I love how they are well thought out. You can really see the mind in them. I love the way they, I love colors mixed. I love colors blended. It's perfectly blended. Every card is sort of like, you know, standing on its own. It says so much. It speaks so much. But it doesn't tell you who to think or like what to think. You know, it's very non-dogmatic, which is really what magic is. You know, it's about finding yourself and being yourself. And I think that you may want to think, because this is not what I was thinking at the time, but you know, you may want to think that if this deck is coming across your life, if you're coming across this video, you know, you didn't expect it, you know, you may consider that maybe you are called for a higher purpose in this life. You know, when I do readings for people, and mostly it will be just with tarot cards, but then sometimes I feel a special oracle deck calling me. And I think it's also about the way the deck comes in my life, you know, the impact that it has. Sometimes I take a while to connect with a deck. I remember I connected with this one immediately before I even had it. It was the most amazing thing. It was really incredible. I mean, look at this. Exceptional. Look at that firefly. Look at this key. You know, one can interpret this in so many ways. So it's, again, it's about showing you the way without telling you how to think, you know. It's really, really beautiful. And I love the guidance the booklet gives you without, again, telling you who you are, who you should be, who you are meant to be. You know, and you can use these cards in, I mean, you know, it could be a soul connection, this could be a love reading, this could maybe making, I often get this card coming in when I sort of make a connection with someone from the beyond. You know, I will say to someone, listen, I don't know if this means anything to you, but, oh yeah, I was saying about Colette Baron-Reid, she speaks about dreaming the world into being. But I will say, you know what, I don't know if this means anything to you, but this is what's coming up, that's what's coming up, this name is what I'm getting. I don't always get it in readings. I think people sometimes have the idea, and this is something important to also know, because I think if you call it in this direction, you're ready for that sort of information. It could maybe just be a reminder, like a confirmation for you. But, you know, when I speak to somebody who passed and somebody who's here in a body, it's a very sort of similar experience. And in that sense, you know, this almost looks like some magical sort of show. Like they were like Celtic women back in the day, you know, very Sarah Brightman-ish, very, very beautiful, very ethereal. What was I going to say now? I don't even know. But this is, you know, this is really, really beautiful. This is really, really exceptional. So beautiful. And then even like, say, for example, as you learn more about how, or like, you know, just remind yourself again, or keep on researching, you know, how the sun gives life, the functions of what a moon plays around the planet, how trees communicate with each other, how they've got this intricate connection, you know. The role of fungi in the, you know, in the ecosystem of life, how it's everywhere, how we are a reflection of the universe, you know, we the microcosm, the universe, the macrocosm, but then, you know, then again, the universe, the galaxy, because there's multiple galaxies, you know, then how that is in a microcosm, again, of a bigger macrocosm and so forth. And I think what I was going to say earlier on, what's also really, really great, is that if you are called to this video, then, you know, I just believe that you are called in life for a higher purpose. You are called to contribute to a greater good of the world, to deliver, to be of service, to make the world a better place, to create a better environment for the next generation. I believe that you are called for that, all right? You can decide for yourself, but if you're open to that, if it resonates with you, you might not know how, but then I would say, you know, claim it for yourself. That's what I always say in my weekly readings, you know, my zodiac readings. I would say, like, if this resonates with you, if you're open to that, then claim it for yourself by placing your hand on your heart, taking a nice breath and saying yes to it. You know, I've been finding more and more that I grow a closer connection with, like, spiritual animals, for example, which for, I would say, the first maybe 18 and a half, 19 years even, you know, of me being a card reader, I haven't really been interested in that. It's been calling me many times, but many times I was like, don't really care. But now it's so profound and I'm really connected to it, you know, really open to it. Manifestation, this deck is about understanding how to, you know, embrace your power, how you create, how we're consciously creating your power of who you are. You know, it's a beautiful reminder of who you are. Reminding us that there's a bigger source than ourselves. It's always got a higher good at mind. but we were how to open to that. I believe that you call to that if you're getting this deck, you know, clarity, commitment. Do you commit to your highest good? And sometimes it can be scary. Sometimes they can be very, very scary, you know. I've really had a very profound realization at the moment, you know, about how I am ready for a next step. And when it initially came to me, I didn't know what it was. And Saul says to me, are you saying yes to this? Are you ready for this? And I said, okay. And Saul said things are going to happen very quickly, you know, and I've got like source of all like the universe. But I specifically work with this collective entity that call themselves Smile. For those of you that are familiar with Esther Hicks, like who channels Abram, that's almost how Smile is, basically. But this was source coming straight to me, you know, and letting me, psychic abilities expanding. The truth of who you are, you know, the beauty of who you are. You are called to a higher purpose, I believe, if you come across this. And you know, it doesn't even mean that you have to buy the deck, you know. It could maybe just a friend of mine, Lisa King, she's amazing, and actually on this channel, there is a interview that I did with her. I think it's under Soul Speaks, the playlist, if I remember correctly. You'll see there's a couple of interviews there with people, and she speaks about human design, which is like it's a combination of like astrology, numerology, but like a whole lot of other things as well, you know. And it's really amazing, and it really helped me. And then we had an interview about it, because I was just bowled over. And funny enough, even though the I Ching has recently sort of come into my life, even though a lot of people said I'd be, you know, great at it, but when I get it just like that, it just bang. But then funny enough, when I spoke to Lisa about it, you know, and she's exceptional, you know, she said that the I Ching is actually quite prominent in human design. And, you know, she's been, you know, sort of like struggling a little bit with it. And so I could then help her in that way. You know, isn't it amazing how life works? You know, it's beautiful. Fertility, beautiful. Life, you are ready. You are ready for more. You are ready for new. I believe that. So I like to work with this deck because I find for me that it's, you know, it shows you that magical way about life. You know, how to find a solution that is in the best interest of everyone. I remember even when I first heard the concept about, I just love holding this deck. When I first heard the concept even for what is the television show, The Weakest Link, I was like, why would anybody want to create something like this? I'm like, no, this is pure toxic. And then people call it entertainment. Like, no, you know, and then, I don't know if it was just in South Africa or it was probably more international, but, you know, I remember these people also very bitchy on these things, you know, to the weakest link, goodbye, you know, like little insults. And I think we live in this world, we've come to think that it's okay to just be insulting for the sake of being, you know, insulting. Like how's that even cool? You know, that is the most bizarre thing. Like, how is that cool? So I'm very glad that the world itself is merging in a very different direction at the moment. I'm very glad. I'm very, very glad about that. And I think if you are open to a better world, because it really starts with each and every one of us, then life is inviting you to something bigger than yourself at this moment. And you don't have to know exactly what it is. All you need to really do is say yes to it. You know, as I was going to say, my friend Lisa King, she has this thing that she said to me. It's about following your yeses in life, following the light. You don't always understand the light, you know. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because in many of my other videos I speak about it, especially in the free tarot coaching videos. But it is my firm belief, based on my experience with this beautiful deck of cards. And by the way, I think this is one of the best oracle decks that I ever came about personally myself. You know, sometimes people cut a lot of corners, I think, when it comes to oracle decks, and this is definitely not one of those cases. You know, I place this oracle deck in the same category as I place my tarot decks, and I take my tarot incredibly seriously, because it's about energy, it's about life, you know. So let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear. But very beautiful deck if you're starting out your journey in oracle decks. If you maybe looking, you know what's so great for me about this deck is that if you're looking for something new and I think very soul fulfilling, aesthetically pleasing, without this sort of hoo-ha bullshit that people sometimes add to it, then this is really it. You know, it's very light-hearted, so you've got like a very dancey sort of spirit, you know. It's perfect for that, but it's also really perfect for those deeper questions, you know. It's really incredible. It's really incredible, and I really like it. Um, I was thinking if I should do something or not, but I'm going to do it anyways. You know, I'm going to trust it. So this is the Thought Tarot deck, you know, which is like, you can't really put things in categories, but it's like tarot to the next level. It opens your mind. It opens your life. And I would say what thought is in, you know, not meaning to compare, but like what that is to tarot, in many ways, this is in that category. I would say my personal opinion, my finding working with this deck, to oracle cards. I really like this deck of cards. And if you do get it, I hope that it really works for you, you know? And if you do get it and it doesn't work for you, then you might want to be open to following a path of what I would do. You know, sometimes I would see something and I go like, oh, and I just love it, you know, and I lose it and I go ahead and I buy it. And when I get it, it doesn't really gel with me, you know, and sometimes I've had decks for a long time and doesn't really gel with me. And, you know, it's almost like just keep it for a while. And then I connect with it. That happened with me with this deck. You know, the OSHO Zen Tarot. This is what happened with this deck. I love it now. I love it, but I wasn't yet ready for this information. So a lot of times we think it's the deck, but a lot of times it's us. You know, do we connect with that energy? And so I believe, as I said, you're invited to something powerful here. But if you get it and you find it's not for you, then, you know, you maybe follow what I follow. I would say, well, maybe this isn't meant for me. You know, I'll keep it until, you know, the essence of life shows me what I'm meant to do with that. And sometimes I would like, you know, give it as a gift to someone else. And what didn't work for me, you know, means the world to them. It's perfect for them. So maybe that's the purpose. You know, just be careful, be very, very careful to not fall for the trap that, you know, you have to buy everything for everybody else. Be careful of that. Okay? But I will do a review on this deck soon. This one, very soon, because when I bought this one, I remember I've been looking for this deck for a long time because I only had. Now I'm very quickly going to go into this, and I'm not going to take long with this. But I remember on the channel of Sasha Bonison, who, you know, he's got a beautiful energy. Once I was looking at my reading for Cancer and I saw this card and I didn't know the deck that it came from, and when I found it was this one, I got so excited, you know. I ended up buying my best friend the deck, and I was with another beautiful friend of mine. She also wanted the deck, so we all got them together, you know, in the same package, and I kind of took it to them, and it was just amazing. And even that, now that I think about it, is the energy of 3. I'm not going to go into it. I think the book speaks a little bit about numbers. If it doesn't, you want to go look up numbers energy, but there's real power in 3. Do they speak about numbers? So what is a spell? Do's and don'ts. And if they don't, then maybe, you know, there they speak about 3 a.m. So you see, even for spells and stuff. And the powers of 3 and even 7, it's quite a lot in, like, you know, 7 main chakras, biblical perfect number. You're looking at this, you know, 3 card readings. So there they speak about it a little bit. It's about bringing things together. Even when you look into the Book of Life, when you start looking into like Kabbalah, it also really speaks about the power of 3. So, you know, maybe you're invited to look into those directions, but follow your light and see what comes up for you. Okay, I find it very personally pleasing to work with this deck. When I do a reading for people, you know, I say, okay, which ones of the decks are coming in. Sometimes it's 2 decks, sometimes it's 4 or 9 or 8 or crazy, you know. Sometimes I don't even draw from it. It's just the energy, but it lets me understand what the person is ready for. You know, that sort of thing, really. So I hope that this helps you. As I said, I like to share my experience with the deck as opposed to just the sort of like first impressions, because you know, sometimes I take a while to connect, even though this connection was immediate. This was definitely part of my destiny. But from my heart, namaste, love and light. Thank you for your time. Bye, beauties.